tal amigos de La Opinión? Les saluda Ricardo López Juárez para otra entrevista que espero sea muy interesante para ustedes. Y es un placer enorme encontrarme aquí con el destacado basquetbolista mexicoamericano y futura estrella del NBA, Jaime Jáquez Jr. Jaime, thank you so much for being here with us.
Muchas gracias por having me.
Tenerme con ustedes.
Tenerme con ustedes.
Muchas gracias a ti. Y Jaime nos ha prometido que va a tratar de hablar español, que está estudiando español, lo cual pues lo aprecio muchísimo. Pero en aras de que sea más fluida la conversación, vamos a platicar en inglés un poco. Y déjame romper el hielo. Let me break the ice first. Tell me about your look. When you decided to have this look with the long hair, the goatee,
Yeah.
tell me about it.
It's actually a funny story because before I got to college, I was always had short hair, and I always kept it like that because it was always usually hot around here. But when I was with the Mexican national team and we were down there, the way they initiate our guys is by shaving the heads. And they told me it was either that or my eyebrows. So I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go with my head. It was a bunch of young guys. It was all our first time. So I was like, you know what? Years from now, it's going to be a funny story. But ever since then, I was like, no one's ever touching my hair again. And so since then, I just grew it all out. And that's why I have that look today.
Those Mexicans, right?
Yeah, they're crazy.
Mexicanos, siempre haciendo de las suyas. By the way, that was a very interesting experience. You had to tell us about Lima, the Pan Am Games, where Jaime Jáquez was part of the Mexican national team. But you are preparing for the NBA draft that's going to take place in June. Jaime just graduated from UCLA. Terrific career in UCLA as a senior, 17.8 points, 8.2 rebounds, 2.4 steals, blocks. Great player, clutch player, and you helped UCLA to be, again, a very powerful and relevant program. So what are you doing right now?
Well, at the moment, if you guys couldn't tell already, I'm working out. I just got done with one of my workouts. It's been very vigorous, a lot of hard work and a lot of training that's going into it. All is to get prepared for the draft in June. So it's just a lot of hard work, just working on my shot, working on defense, overall game, getting in the best shape I can to get prepared for this draft.
So what is your mindset? ¿Cuál es tu mentalidad en este proceso para tratar de llegar a la NBA?
I would have to say I kind of just take it one day at a time. I think that's been my mindset throughout my college experience. Really just focus on myself, understanding that I'm running my own race, not try to look at other guys and how they're training or what their projected is. Really just focus on myself and understand that this is my dream, and I'm very excited to continue to pursue that.
What have you heard from analysts and experts and maybe scouts or people in NBA when they talk about Jaime Jáquez Jr.?
I just know that when they talk about me, that they have questions about my defense and my shooting, and I'm very excited to answer those questions. I think that I'm a very good defender and I'm a very good shooter as well. So when that time comes, I'm going to be ready, and that's why I'm putting the work in now this summer. So I'm very excited, and I'm just trusting the process.
What is the part of your game that was the most improved in your senior season at UCLA?
I would say my leadership role. I think as much as it is important to be a good player off the court or on the court, it's just as important to be a leader and a good example off the court. So I think my growth as a leader is one of the things that I'm most proud of, being able to get my guys to rally around me and go into battle and win games. We had a lot of close games, and I don't think we ever were in a game where we got blown out. We were in every single game the entire year, and that's something that I take pride in.
2 years ago, you guys reached the Final Four. This year, you guys got to the Sweet 16. Great game versus Gonzaga, which is a great rivalry, UCLA-Gonzaga. And that was a really tough game. But in the fourth quarter, when UCLA had no answers, you came on fire and started to make plays, basically creating your own shots, attacking the rim, playing with a lot of heart. What do you remember from that day?
Man, I just remember when those final minutes were winding down that I had one more opportunity to play one more game, to have a chance to, extend my season for just one game longer. So I really just took it upon myself to give it everything I had and try to get steals and try to score and apply the pressure on defense. And we gave ourselves a chance to win. And, again, another heartbreak against Gonzaga. So, it is what it is.
Y ese fue el último juego en la carrera de Jaime en UCLA. But what it meant for you to play with that legendary Bruins jersey, UCLA? That's probably the most important name in college basketball.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in wearing that jersey. Every time I put it on, I would just take a second to acknowledge where I was and what I was really doing. And I was living out my dream. I wanted to go to UCLA since I was a kid. And every time I put that jersey on, I just thought of all the players who came before. And I was just trying to uphold that legacy in my time at UCLA.
Before talking about your beginnings and your story and your family, I want to show you this video and tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
Jaime's special because he's a great player. He's got that Mexican boxer spirit in him. You're going to have to kill him. I mean, we've had a lot of comebacks. I mean, he never say die. When we're down in the huddle, he's yelling at guys, we can still win. He's got the fight in him that every coach dreams of their players having.
Yeah. That's, Coach Cronin. He believed in me. He believed in me ever since I was a freshman. He told me what he thought I could be, and he pushed me to be that. He was very hard on me. He was hard on all of us, and I think that brought out the best in a lot of us, and I think it showed in the way we played in our season and in our career, because I say my career, but it was a collective. We had a core group of guys that we were in that together, and he was the head of the snake, and I'm very happy and proud that I got to play 4 years under Coach Cronin.
Decir que tienes ese espíritu de boxeador mexicano, Mexican fighter, you got to kill me to really make me stop.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best compliments I think anyone can get. Well, at least for being a Mexican athlete, I think that's kind of the stereotype or what people think of, and it's a good one. It's a very good one because it just shows the toughness that our people have and what we can do and how it shows that we're never going to quit.
¿Quiénes son los Jáquez? The Jáquez family. Who are you guys?
We are a family of competitive athletes. I think from when we were little kids, we were always very excited to go play outside and play sports. And we always wanted to beat one another, and we always were fighting over the attention of our parents. And I think that created a very good dynamic for us to all be successful in our athletic ventures.
So, tu abuelo Ezequiel, he was a player in Ventura County and then Northern Arizona. Tu papá, Jaime Sr., and your mom, Angela, both players at Concordia in Irvine. So you can tell basketball was in your DNA.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a really cool story to have both parents play in college and have a son and a daughter go play in college as well. It's really just storybook. I think the world works in mysterious ways, and I don't think that it's a coincidence that I am where I am.
Do you remember the first time you were with a basketball in your hands?
Yeah, well, my parents used to show me videos when I was a little kid of me dunking on the little Tykes hoop when I was really little, and I just remember when they showed me the home videos, I used to want to be like Shaq, just always dunking the ball and get two hands on the rim and just hang and really embrace that moment. And that's something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to dunk, and I was very happy when I got my first dunk.
El papá de Jaime Sr., reveló que la primera palabra que dijo este hombre fue ball.
Sí.
Tu amor por el básquetbol es innegable desde que eras un pequeño.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, my first word was ball. My dad always put a ball in my hand, and I've always loved it from the start, just sports in general. I mean, I love basketball, obviously, but I think sports in general just has a very, very great way of just bringing everyone together.
Jaime jugó en Camarillo High School. Aunque tú naciste en Irvine, tú creciste en Camarillo, fuiste a Camarillo High School. Y la verdad fuiste uno de los mejores jugadores en esa escuela. 31.7 puntos y 11.7 rebotes como senior at Camarillo High School. What made you the player that you are in those days, in your beginnings as a young player at high school?
Well, I had a lot of opportunities to go to other places, a lot of private schools, but I decided to stay home with all my friends and go to a public school because of my friends. And you know, high school is a very it's a new chapter in a lot of people's lives. You know, you're done with middle school and you get to high school and it's like a whole new chapter. And when you're there, you know, you're really finding your way and learning to have fun. And I was happy to have all my friends there with me to go through that process together. And I think that's what made my college basketball, or not college, my high school basketball career a lot of fun. I had a lot of great memories with all my teammates, and I'll cherish those moments forever.
No, I'm sure during those days probably was when you started to think, you know what, I think I can make it as an NBA player. What was your dream? When you developed that illusion, that dream to become a professional?
I would be lying. I mean, I think I've had that dream since I was a little kid. I saw Kobe and Shaq, and I always wanted to be like those two guys and be an NBA basketball player. That was always my dream. When we had a career day, I told my teachers that I wanted to be a professional basketball player. So I've always wanted to be this. I didn't really have a plan B. I kind of just went for it, you know, for better or for worse. So I'm going down swinging. This is what I want to do. In high school, I think I really saw that could really be a reality.
How is that you got to UCLA, like from Camarillo to Westwood? What happened in that process?
It was a lot of AAU games, a lot of high school games, just being able to have college coaches come to practices, understand the way I play. I got recruited by a lot of schools, but at the end of the day, I mean, I think I knew UCLA was the place for me.
So you were playing very well at high school, then to UCLA, but everything started at home with your brother Marcos and your sister Gabriela. She is at UCLA right now doing great things with a fantastic future. And Marcos is a football player, good athlete too. So how was your childhood? How were those days with Marcos and Gabriela?
It was a lot of days outside, scraping our knees on the pavement. We played a lot of soccer growing up in the front yard, played a lot of basketball, played a lot of football, played a lot of baseball. So we were always just active playing sports. We even played golf. We had a tennis court. We tried to get into tennis. Just very active, very active. Skateboarding, we had a phase where we were into X Games sports and like those really BMX, skateboarding, rollerblading, all that stuff. So we were very active as kids.
Who was the dominant one?
I mean, I would say myself, just because I'm the oldest. I think I spearheaded the way for all of us to introduce all these new activities into our lives. I was always very curious, and I always wanted to try a lot of new things. And I think that's what propelled them into sports as well. I mean, I don't know, maybe they loved it too, but I like to think that I was the one who showed them the way.
Jaime, hay una cosa más latina que ninguna en el mundo, que es juntarse con la familia los domingos para comer con los papás. And I know your grandmother Gloria gets the family together, and you guys try to make it every Sunday with her to eat, to say hi, to enjoy yourselves. Tell me about those days.
Yeah, I would probably go back to when I was in high school, middle school, earlier days. We go to church every Sunday, and then after church, my grandmother, we go over to her house and really just spend the day with my aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and really just spend the day with each other. That was kind of usually how our Sundays went. She would always make food. She's a tremendous cook, and it was just a lot of great memories.
When she came to the U.S., she didn't speak English, and I'm sure that's kind of lesson for the rest of the family moving forward.
Yeah, it was actually a crazy story. So my grandfather and her, my grandfather helped her learn English, and they kind of have a cool little love story where they helped each other learn the language, and it was beautiful. So.
¿Y alguien te reta en español? somebody in your family challenge you in Spanish in those family Sunday meetings?
Yeah, well, I would say, when I was a really little kid, probably around when I used to live in Irvine, it was very apparent that they were trying to teach, and I was probably better when I was like 5 or 6 than I am now. I'm still working on my Spanish. I got a tutor for this summer, so I'm trying to get back into it. But I know that at the end of the day, I'm just going to have to go to Mexico and live there for a couple months so I could really just get engulfed and really understand the language. Because when I was there, I was getting really good quick. And, it's tough out here in los Estados Unidos porque las personas hablando solamente en inglés. And, I try. That's why I got a tutor, so I'm trying.
And that's awesome that you are trying, you show interest to connect with the community. And the reality is that Jaime is making a difference, inspiring a lot of people in the community in Southern California. And there's a video of your dad talking about what he feels when he sees you making an impact as a player, because when he was younger, he didn't see many Hispanic players in college or obviously NBA, and he gets really emotional when he talks about it.
Yeah, I think I'm very happy that I'm able to make him proud and accomplish this dream. And I think it's important too to see just how big of an impact that I make, because as myself, it's hard for me to kind of understand, because I feel like I'm just a regular person, just like everyone else. But the impact when you go outside and people really come up to you and tell you how much that I mean to them, it's really surreal, and it's hard for me to really take in all the time. But when I hear him talk, it really makes it clear for me.
En español, if you want, what does it mean for you to be a Hispanic, young, great athlete and person? What is your pride? How do you describe your pride being Latino?
Mi papá dile una palabra ganas. Yo tengo ganas y yo creo es muy importante para los niños de ver a mí en los atléticos y en la televisión. Ellos pueden ver una persona como dice, that looks like them.
Que se ve como ellos.
Que se ve como ellos. Es muy importante. Mi papá dime todo día o todo tiempo, tú estás muy importante para los niños. And so I think, I don't take that lightly.
Great job. Now, speaking about the future, because this guy has a great story, but he's looking to keep getting bigger and bigger, and I can just imagine seeing Jáquez Jr. with an NBA jersey, being a professional, and hopefully that really happens. I'm sure it's going to happen. What are your goals? What are you dreaming of?
Yeah, I mean, I think, I really learned this mentality at UCLA. It's really just take it one day at a time. So, my goal right now is just to make it there. Once I make it there, then I think I'll have a new set of goals. But right now, I've been working, 22 years now to get to this one spot. And so once I get there, I'm going to have to restart and try to figure out, next goals, whether that be, be a rookie of the year, whether it be first team All-NBA, or NBA championship. I'm going to have to set those goals when I get there. But right now, I'm just really locked in on making it.
And how are the conversations with your family, with your dad, with your mom, with your brothers, when you are closer to become a professional?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's very crazy, surreal. Like I said before, you work your whole life for this one moment, and you never really know how you're going to feel when it gets there. So I'm very excited to see what comes. My conversation with my parents and my family, they always just tell me, put your head down and keep working. So that's what I'm doing now.
Tell me about your sister, Gabriela. Very young, still studying at UCLA, but she is regarded as a future star in the team.
Yeah, she's got a lot of work ahead of her. She's got another 3 years. I'm very excited to see what she can do. I know that she works just as hard as I do, And I'm very proud to see what she has done and to see what she is going to do.
So, and because of you and because of Gabriela, there's a new Jáquez Family Scholarship at UCLA, una beca estudiantil en una de las mejores universidades del país, que es UCLA, en honor a la familia Jáquez. How that happened? That's great.
Yeah, I think the Latino Bruin Association came to contact us and basically had proposed this idea and to have this scholarship fund named after us, and it was just no-brainer to us. I think it was great to be able to have our name attached to something that is going to help so many people in the future and allow so many people to get a great education at UCLA, because we know how hard it is and how expensive it can be. And to be a part of that, that's probably one of the most proud things that I can say I'm a part of.
No, that's bigger than sports.
It's way bigger than sports, way bigger than sports.
And obviously, you being Latino, you know that many young people, they don't have the means to get there. They always can dream and try, but this is really going to help.
Yeah, it's really going to help. I mean, like you said, not everyone can be as lucky as me and get a athletic scholarship. So to be able to have this put in place to help kids who may not be able to afford it, and I think that's the last thing that the kids should worry about, is if they get accepted into UCLA, it's like, well, now I can't afford it. Well, now we have something that's put in place to help those kids, and I'm just really proud of that, and I'm very excited to see how well that does in the future and to see all the faces that get to go through that program, and it's just great that I can help impact a lot of lives.
And speaking about impact, do you plan to continue to play for Team Mexico? And in the first place, why do you decide to play for Mexico?
I think in the first place, the decision came, I think I make a lot of decisions consulting my family, and we all agreed that it was going to be a good idea to be able to get in touch with my heritage, be able to experience something. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to experience and go play for your national team on such a big stage. And we thought it was going to be great. I was so happy I got to experience that and go through that process, and to be able to show people in Mexico that I'm here and I want to represent, and I want to be a part of something bigger.
And this interview, esta entrevista es también para eso, para que la gente que habla español en California, en Estados Unidos y obviamente en México conozcan más de tu historia, Jaime. Esa actuación fue en los Juegos Panamericanos en Lima, Perú. ¿Cómo fue la experiencia con los jugadores, que ya sabemos que te querían cortar el pelo, pero también en la cancha, during the games? How was it?
It was incredible. I mean, to be able to play against other countries and see, their best versus our best. I mean, when you talk about international sports and representing countries, it's really, I think to me, the NBA is big, but that is, a much more valued stage in my eyes. When you look at the Olympics, I think that's the biggest stage that you could possibly get. Hopefully we'll be able to make it there. But I mean, just going through that, it's really indescribable to put on that jersey and, represent a country. It's really indescribable.
So this sounds like Jaime Jáquez will continue to represent the green, white, and red of Mexico in the future. Is that right?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope we can make that happen.
Okay. Is there a promise or a commitment from Jaime Jáquez Jr. to the people that are watching this in terms of what you are going to do with your basketball career? What can people expect from you from now and to the future?
I would say, look out for me. I'll be there. I'll be somewhere. I'll be on a team, and I just hope. I hope I can make everyone proud. I think that's what I'll say.
Finally, I'm going to ask you very quick questions, and you can give me very short answers, like free throws. We call it free throws. Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe.
Best memory watching Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal?
Was it 2002 NBA Finals? Probably was one of the best moments, I think. Just had finished, complete the three-peat.
Did you ever meet Kobe?
I never got the chance, unfortunately.
Do you have a chance to see him in the arena?
I did. I got a chance to watch him. I actually got to, apparently my parents told me that he went to, when we used to live in Irvine, he was at our church, so I saw him a couple times there, but I don't think he wanted to be bothered at church, but I looking back, maybe I should have said something.
What were you doing when you knew about the accident in Calabasas, very close to this, where we are now?
I was getting ready to play a basketball game at Oregon, and that was probably the hardest game I've ever had to play.
Is LeBron James the greatest ever?
Yes.
Okay. Some people won't like that answer.
I mean, I love Kobe more, but I think LeBron is the greatest ever.
Football or baseball?
Baseball.
Baseball or soccer?
Baseball.
Dodger fan?
Sí.
Favorite player?
Clayton Kershaw.
Okay. Fernando Valenzuela or Clayton Kershaw?
Well, I feel like now I have to say Fernando Valenzuela, but like I said, during my time period, I got to watch Clayton Kershaw, so.
Because that was
Yeah.
your era.
Yeah.
The guy you watched through his career.
Yeah, exactly.
Mexican food or any other food?
This is what I say always about food is I can never pick a favorite. Everyone always asks, that's all come up before, and I always tell people I don't have a favorite. Like I really am a connoisseur of, I love good food, whether it's Mexican food, Italian food, Asian food, like I really just love them all.
Okay, let me change the question. What is your favorite Mexican plate?
Tamales.
Green or red?
Red.
Pork or chicken?
Pork.
Oh, this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
What is the best message, the most important words that your dad has ever told you?
Always be kind to everyone. That was probably the most important thing he's ever taught me.
Jaime, un placer y muchos éxitos en tu carrera.
Muchas gracias para todo.
Y yo los invito a que estén muy pendientes de todo lo que ocurra con Jaime Jáquez Jr. El draft de la NBA será el 22 de junio. Será un momento muy especial para Jaime, pero también un momento importante, un parteaguas en la historia del básquetbol para los latinos. Muchas gracias. Hasta la próxima.